Hey, good Monday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive morning weather update. Hopefully, you had a great weekend. Weather pattern changes pretty quickly. I wouldn't say the drought is going to be over after this, but we definitely go from having a hard time getting any rainfall to now this week we have two rains on the way. One comes in Tuesday into Wednesday. Wednesday will be a cool, damp, showery day. And then another one maybe toward the weekend. I'll show that to you. So you'll see how the pattern has changed. We're starting to become a little more stormy. No sign of deep cold just yet. No sign of a hard freeze just yet. We'll take a look at that as well. So here we go. Hey, I got you up on my phone. So let's say hi to some folks. Todd Nordoff, good morning. Almost an inch in Cadillac this weekend. Need a lot more. Yeah, some places 2, 3, 4 inches of rain. I'm going to try to make a map of that, a complete map of that later this morning when all of that information becomes available. Good morning, Stacy Nag, and good morning, Carl Y. All right, so beautiful day today. We're starting with a lot of sun. You see the storm system to our northwest, Minnesota, the Dakotas, northern Rockies. That's a storm system pouring in and will be what we call closing off right over Michigan. I'll show that to you. That means the upper air kinks and then eventually becomes like a fully enclosed circle, and that circulates the rain around rather than a fast-moving open storm system, as we call it. So we'll start with the big picture. And here's the storm system approaching. This is this afternoon, this evening. Nice southwest wind, nice and dry. Overnight tonight, the showers come in. We'll look at it a little closer. And there you see the low pressure center forming over Michigan. And this is Wednesday afternoon. So this would be a very good pattern for a solid lake effect rain area in the southwest corner of lower Michigan. And then this is Wednesday afternoon and evening, still showery. And Ludington, 2 inches of rain there. And then this is Thursday, still what we call cyclonic curvature, still maybe a little showery. This model can sometimes be a little too slow on things like this. Friday, Saturday, and then by late in the weekend or early next week, another storm system heading our way. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, Thursday. So a slow-moving cutoff low. And then, 16 days out, November 4th, there's another one. So definitely have broken down the ridge that keeps the storms out. And these storms will be heading our way, every 4 or 5 days. Now, remember, the upper airflow is important to look at. So that's why I show you this, because this is the driver of the storm systems. And what we've been seeing is this big, what we call a ridge, or this N-shaped hump. That's sinking air, that's sunshine, that's mild, that's hard to get rain. Now we go to some cutoff low pressure systems, which is very, very common in late October and November. That's the gales of November. So here's this upper low that's going to drop into our area and develop. See how it changes? See, it's an open wave right now, and then as it drops down into the Great Lakes, it becomes a cutoff upper low pressure system. This is Wednesday. It swings out. These cutoffs take a little while, sometimes a day or two to swing out. Then we go into Thursday and Friday. Dry. That's probably in this weekend too, probably, your last chance at fall color up north for most of us. There is a meteor shower this week, and yeah, it's going to be hard to see because the clouds come in already tonight. So now we're out to October 27th, October 28th, next week this time. And there's your second upper level low pressure system. Note the European model is trying to forecast a tropical system. It's been doing so for a couple of days. Right now, our upper level storm system may help the southeast and the east coast because it shunts those tropical systems and puts them out to sea. This is November 1st. And then we go to November 4th. Here comes another one. So this is not cold air, but it's definitely a lot cooler than what we have been. Now, the details here. Let's see on the radar. So we should be dry today everywhere. Maybe by evening, the UP starts to get some showers. This is 11 o'clock tonight, midnight. So Traverse City, Honor, Beulah, Ludington, Big Rapids, Grand Rapids, you might start to get some showers about midnight tonight. And then that area moves across lower Michigan and the UP. This is 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. So already out of Grand Rapids by sunrise tomorrow, by maybe a few hours. Out of a lot of places by sunrise. Out of Lansing, out of Jackson, ending in Ann Arbor and Detroit tomorrow morning, 8, 9 o'clock. And by 10 o'clock or noon, it's pretty much out. And then we get into the wraparound. Remember, this upper level low is just forming over us. Hey, good morning, Xandra Belson and Tony Crino and Marjorie Stevens. I think you still have time to plant some grass seed. I was going to plant some grass seed, before the big rain, but sometimes that pounds the seed into the ground and it does more harm than good. So I'm going to do it in the next couple of days. This rain coming up is a better grass seed germinating rain because it's not a pounding rain. Now we're into Tuesday afternoon and evening, and the showers start to redevelop and come back. And here is Wednesday noontime. So even though we have an upper level low pressure system over us, doesn't mean it's a widespread rain. The rain circulates around the outside of the storm circulation. Now we go to the European model for longer term. And that, by the way, was the upper airflow that I was showing you too. So this is Wednesday morning into early afternoon. Anywhere you see gray, you can expect it to be showery. This is Wednesday afternoon into evening. It looks like the showery pattern moves all over. Eric Suzuki, Halloween snowfall? I don't think so. No. There's just no cold air. There is, quote unquote, colder air aloft in these upper level storm systems, but there's not a reservoir of cold to come down to the surface. Remember, the lakes are still in the 50s and 60s, so that's going to be a continuous funnel of 50-degree air at least. So you're going to have to be quite cold aloft for a snowflake to live to make it to the ground until the lower atmosphere really cools off. So Wednesday is showery. This is Thursday. It's still kind of a lake effect pattern. It's still showery. And then this is Friday. So we probably dry out for Friday. Maybe Saturday is dry. And then maybe by Sunday, the next storm system is forming. And really early next week, we see the same kind of deal. And remember, it's been quite a while since I've showed you more frames that have rain in it out to 10 days than don't. This is 10 days out, October 30th. And there's just not enough cold air aloft for that. All right, total rainfall coming up here in the next couple of days. This is out through Wednesday afternoon. You're going to see the lake effect area on a northwest wind, Pentwater to Big Rapids to Grand Rapids to Kalamazoo, inland to maybe Lansing. You're going to have a ½ inch to an inch and a half by the time it's all said and done. Xander Belson, bug killing frost soon? No. I'll show you that next here. And then with this kind of upper low configuration, places like Saginaw, Bay City, Flint, Lapeer, the Thumb, Northeast, you might not get a whole lot. Might be talking like a tenth to 3/10 of an inch. All right, high temperatures. Today, really going to be pretty nice for this time of the year. 60. We should check and see what our normal high is now. 60 in Grand Rapids, Lansing, Kalamazoo, Ann Arbor, Detroit area. 58 in Flint and Saginaw. 58 in Traverse City. Now, tomorrow, remember, it gets cloudy, so it gets cooler. Highs in the low 50s as you go north to Cadillac and Traverse City. Highs in the 40s in the UP. This is Wednesday. Wednesday, we're not going to have any sunshine to warm us up. So we'll start in the low 40s. We'll wind up in the low 50s. That's a very early November-like or late October-like day. Thursday is cool too. Highs in the 40s and 50s. But with the clouds around at night, you don't drop down below freezing. And this is Friday morning. Now, eventually on Friday morning, as the skies clear and the storm, upper level storm pushes out, will clear, and that's when we could have some frost. But I still don't see a widespread killing freeze. Widespread killing freeze is generally regarded as 28 degrees or colder for 4 hours. So 34 and some frost is not what's considered a killing freeze. This is Sunday the 26th, Monday the 27th, some 60s in there, Tuesday the 28th, some 60s, Wednesday the 29th, Thursday, October 30th, starting to get colder. This would be Halloween for what it's worth. It looks cool now, but remember, cloudy, so the nighttime temperatures won't be all that much different. And then we're out to November 3rd. So we're definitely the party on the 70s is over. Now let's look at low temperatures. So again, tomorrow with clouds in the 40s. Wednesday, clouds, showers in the morning, lows around 40. Thursday, 40s and upper 30s. Friday morning, we could clear. You could have some spotty frost in just about anywhere maybe. And Saturday morning, you could have some spotty frost and or freezing temperatures borderline. And then we start to make the trek back up on morning temperatures, and we don't see anything, truly cold until we get to November 2nd or 3rd, something like that. So definitely we got a pattern change going on. And it's to cooler, it's to more showery. We can certainly need that. Remember, I've told you that I hope we break some of this drought going into winter, because winter, it's hard to break a drought unless you stay warmer than normal and get quite a bit of rainfall. Snow is hard to break a drought with. There's not a lot of moisture in snowfall, so you'd have to have a lot of snow to eat into the drought before spring. There's your MLive morning weather update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Hopefully you had a great weekend, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.